Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Watty's channel. As you guys know, in the last video, I mentioned about talking about the Justoys figures, and that's actually what we're going to discuss today. About a week or two ago, I did a video kind of reflecting on all of the 1995 through 98, 2001, etc. WWF Bendoms, Justoys Bendoms. At some point in the future, I'm going to go back and reflect on those figures based on individual series, as opposed to just kind of cramming all the figures together in one single video like I did before. But, I've gone in and I purchased those figures, and since then, I've kind of gone, like, Bendy's happy lately. So there are a bunch of figures, a lot of Bendoms, both individual packs as well as multi-packs with like 4 packs, 5 packs, 5 wrestlers in a package. And I bought those for the Bendoms. I bought a bunch of figures from Ringside Collectibles, and I've also purchased a lot of 1990s WCW Justoys. And today's video is going to feature those 1990s Bendoms, or Bendable figures. So the thing I like about these Bendable figures from Justoys is they're very reminiscent to your card backs that you got from the 1990-91 Galoob action figures. So that is awesome. But you kind of run into the same issue with WCW Galoob, that your WCW Justoys, your WCW original San Francisco toy makers, they kind of stick with the exact same characters time after time after time, and they very rarely bring in any new members to the roster, or to your fandom, or to your collection. So that kind of sucks. So basically what you got from the WCW Galoob is essentially what you're getting from the WCW Justoys action figures. But they are bigger than your 4-inch bendies that you got from LJN. They are bigger than your 4-inch Bendoms that you get from WWE later on. But are they better? I like them a lot. Don't get me wrong. I will let you guys make your decision on how you feel about them. Per usual, we are going to start with the way that the figures are displayed on the back of the card in order. So the first one we're looking at is Sting. Now, Sting has a couple of different variations that I've seen. I don't really call them variants. I just think that they're simply how they're packaged. So, what do I mean? In one variation, you have Sting with his arms up like so. Another variation has his arms down. They're bendable figures. They could be posed different ways. So that doesn't really make any difference to me. I don't think I'm going to be actively searching for Sting with arms down. But if I come across it and it's like a $5 figure, yeah, I'll jump on it. But if it's Sting and he's selling for like $25-$30, probably not. Not for that price. And so it does say Sting and the Stinger off to the side there. You got the little Justoys emblem. So some of these card backs are going to be different, whereas some of them are a little bit smaller like so, and then others are going to kind of expand out a little bit more. But essentially, every card back is going to look exactly the same. Black and white graphics. No digicolor, which really sucks. Oh, excuse me. So, it says Sting, the Stinger, favorite holds, Stinger Splash, and Scorpion Deathlock. That is nice. So, apparently, once upon a time, this figure cost $4 in stores. $4 at Toys R Us. That's awesome. What kind of sucks about this one, and I knew about it when I made an offer. I tried to go down in price because of the damages, but you can see here these little white marks. That's where there's a tear in the bubble. But you know what? You're looking at 30-something-year-old figures. I'm okay with that. It's not like it cost me $100 to buy these or anything, so that was a very fair price. Now, this is actually the third Sting I bought. I don't know why I bought another one when I already had 2 of these before. I'm thinking I may have gotten this one as part of a lot. Yeah, so not exactly the same. Like I said, very, very easily movable arms. You know, they're not like super tight like you get from the Bendoms, but you can pose them in different ways. Me personally, I'll either keep them like so, just because it's, you know, when you put them on the stands, you know, they work a little bit better. But, how did I have them before? Probably like this. He's got really awesome face paint. I like that. That's really nice. The thing is, the posability is a little bit better, but they're also super thin. I think they're very playable figures. If you were a kid and you had these, they would definitely be serviceable. And because I kind of stick with, like, you know, the 4-inch Hasbro, right, as from childhood, if I had these and I matched them up to one of my Hasbro figures, they would just tower way too much. And when I talked about using, like, Harry from Harry and the Hendersons bendable figure, or the Incredible Hulk bendable figure, right, or the Panthro, I don't know what his name is. I always kind of go between Panthro and Cathro because I can't remember his name, from Thundercats. Yeah, those were bigger figures, but because they were, you know, monsters in my federation, I kind of, you know, it was better that way. But this is a real life wrestler, right? So you can't really say, well, he's a monster, that's why he's hovering. Doesn't make sense. So for that purpose, I probably would never have been able to use this, but still solid looking figures all around. And I don't know, I just think they kind of cheaped out on the Scorpion here. That is Sting. Next on card is Lex Luger. This was another figure that I had a individual Windom for, and I don't know when I purchased them, if I purchased them individually or if they came part of a lot, but I had 2 previous Stings and I had another Lex Luger loose, and when I finally decided to start picking these up on card, you know, I'm glad I had those pieces. So, it does say Lex Luger, the total package, favorite holds, human torture rack, backbreaker, and power slam. Wow. I'm not even sure what store this came from, but this one was only selling for $1. Freaking 99 cents for this, man. Just, 99 cents, and today they're selling for like $20 to $30 easy. Bendable, posable Bendoms. So that's the Justoys card, and we got Justoys Lex Luger. I don't know, I because I'm kind of accustomed to his blue tights from the Galoob line. Seeing him in green is just kind of feels awkward. I didn't really watch WCW like that, you know, growing up. And kind of interesting, though. Just last night, I don't know how it happened, but I kind of... Oh, you know what? I kind of came across the 1988 Royal Rumble. And you know how much I've been wanting to watch the 88 Royal Rumble, and I finally found that on YouTube. And I was able to watch that, and now all of a sudden all these Royal Rumbles are popping up on my feed, which is fantastic. And I was able to watch the 2023 Women's Royal Rumble. I tell you guys, man, the male Royal Rumbles over the last decade or two have been boring as heck. And I kind of feel like the Royal Rumble, even if you don't know a single wrestler in there, they should still be entertaining matches, right? The Royal Rumble matches that I've watched from, like, you know, past 97 have been so dull. And the Women's Royal Rumble, not knowing who a single wrestler was when I first started watching that, their matches are so exhilarating. The acrobatics, the martial arts that are attributed with them, their freaking moves are fantastic. Like, and I was watching that 2023 Women's Royal Rumble last night, and I was disappointed that it ended so quickly. It felt like the 2-minute timer was like every 30 seconds or something. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And right after that, I watched a 92, I think, 92 or 90, I'm going to say 92, Battle Royal in WCW. they don't call it Battle Royal, but I forget what they called it. But you had a lot of awesome people up in there. You had Vader, you had Sting, Ric Flair, Paul Orndorff, Rick Rude was in there. Both the Nasty Boys. I think Hawk was in there. I didn't see Animal. Cactus Jack. And kind of remember watching that because obviously when I think of Cactus Jack or when I think of Mick Foley, I think of Mankind and I think about WCW or WWF. But, you know, flipping through the channels during childhood, I did see Cactus Jack all the time. So I don't know how I could not have, you know, maintained that memory. You know, I always talk about the Nasty Boys and Legion of Doom, the Steiner brothers, Ric Flair, Sting, Vader. Cactus Jack was always a dominant, you know, force in there as well. I just never watched WCW like that. Not the way that I watched WWF. WCW was just kind of like flipping through the channels. If it's on, you watch it type of deal. But nothing that you actually look forward to watching every week or whatnot. I kind of went off topic, but I guess seeing Lex Luger in green just kind of really odd for me. Between WCW and WWF, I'd never seen him wear this color. Not saying he didn't. I mean, he did wear green in the Series 2 Galoob release, so... next one up is Tom Zenk. Now, I do not have Tom Zenk carded, but this is Tom Zenk as a loose figure. If you guys know of anybody selling a Tom Zenk on card, please let me know, because I would love to pick that up. Within reason. If it's like a $50 card, probably not. If it's like $25, maybe $30, I'd do that, but... And that's only because I'm like super close to completing it. As far as color scheme goes, I think this is one of my... I think this is one of the better figures from the Justoys line. I don't really think that there's really much to go off of as far as face scheme or anything like that. Tom Zenk. Next up is Scott Steiner. Again, I don't have Scott Steiner on card. This is his loose figure. Interesting enough, I did find one seller on eBay who is selling a Scott Steiner carded figure, but he's also selling a Rick Steiner figure, and I would have loved to have picked those up together, but they want like close to $200 for the set, and I think I got my Rick Steiner for $30, maybe $25. Maybe not. You know what? I think the seller had it listed for $50, and I think I offered $25 originally, which was declined. I think I went up. I think we got up to like $35. So I bought my Rick Steiner for $35. So at $185 for 2 figures on card, I'm like, no, I'll pass. I'll wait for that price to come down, or see if anyone else is selling Scott Steiner on card. You know, the Steiner brothers in general, and Scott Steiner was a fantastic wrestler in WCW, and I really don't remember too much about the Steiner brothers in WWF. Oddly enough, you think, okay, the one network I actually watched, I should know a lot about them, but I really don't have that many memories, and very few of them are from WWF, and a majority of them come from WCW. You look at him later on as a Big Papa Pump type of deal. I don't know. I think that was long after I stopped watching because I didn't remember that character. It's just something you just kind of learn about over the years, right? And I don't know, man. I like to think of this Scott Steiner. This guy was athletic. He was built. He was muscular. But later on, he just became like, I don't know if it was steroids or what, but that just was very un-Scott Steiner, very uncanny for me. Great figure. Probably a top 6 or 7 from the line. And they're all the same figures, same body pose and whatnot, right? So, it's based on color scheme, I guess. So, you can't have Scott Steiner without brother and tag team partner Rick Steiner. And incredible piece. If you notice this figure compared to, let's say, Lex Luger, Try to get it on the edge. So you've got about that much difference in the size of card. And, you know, it's basically the exact same card backing, you know. There's really no difference. Except that they just make these cards much wider. So that's what I was talking about earlier in the video when I was talking about card backing. Yeah. So last one we looked at on card was Lex Luger, so I haven't been able to read off anything since. It's called Rick Steiner, Dogface Gremlin, Favorite Holds, Belly to Belly Suplex, and Steiner Line. Steiner Line is just a fancy name for a clothesline. Dang, he's pretty short. 5'11". I mean, I'm 5'7", so I'm tiny in comparison, but no, that's okay. You know, 5'10" and above, you know, it's pretty tall. A solid figure, and I don't have Rick Steiner loose, so all we've got to go off of is the card figure. And I love the way that they pose his arms in here. So, awesome design of the singlet. And just the arm positioning just looks awesome. So, this actually is one of my favorite figures from this Justoys WCW release. So, after after Rick Steiner, we have Brian Pillman. Again, I don't have him on card. We're going to see very few cards after this. Well, no. We got about a handful more. So this is Brian Pillman, sticking with his Cincinnati Bengals color scheme. Pretty solid. Just like, you know, I actually had the Brian Pillman WCW Galoob figure as a kid, right? You know, hands up. That one was one of my favorite figures from Galoob. Obviously, Ric Flair, even though, you know, his hands were down, it was still one of the more enjoyable figures to use. Rick Steiner, most definitely. Sid Vicious was a perfect figure. And, you know, I would say probably Brian Pillman was right there in the top 4 at the time. Now, obviously, as a collector and seeing all the different figures, is he a top 4 figure? Not anymore, but he still has one of my favorite figures, one of my favorite poses. And, you know, his Bendable figure is just as incredible. And it actually looks like the Brian Pillman, too. So that's pretty fantastic. Love the Bendable Brian Pillman figure. That is a top 5 figure, in my opinion, from this line. Alright, after Brian Pillman, next up is Aron Anderson. Kind of sticking with like what they do with Rick Steiner. That's pretty smooth. So, for Aron Anderson, the Enforcer... Favorite holds is Spinebuster and DDT. When you actually kind of look at the figure, it actually looks like his hand is connected to his chest. Luckily, it's not. Otherwise, that would have made a potential great figure really crappy. But no, it is a really solid figure all around. Again, I know because we're with these figures, we're only talking about color scheme. So I'd say that this is another top 5 figure. I think Butch Reed, I think Brian Pillman, Sid Vicious, Aron Anderson, and Rick Steiner. I think those 5 would probably be in my top 5 WCW Justoys figures. You know, stick with the double A on here. Good detail. And a very good likeness of the character as well. So, after Aron Anderson, we move on to probably the best Justoys action figure, which is Sid Vicious. And, you know, it only goes to show that Sid Vicious has the best WCW Galoob. He's got the best WCW Justoys. And I like this because they even have even more detail. Not just black singlet, black boots, but at least they give him some, you know, trace of color in his shoelaces. So that's pretty awesome. As far as the Sid at the top, I always assume that somebody wrote Sid on here, but I don't know if that's the case or if that's actually how it came. I don't know, man. I'm assuming somebody wrote Sid on here, which kind of kills the figure. And there's a little bit of a, you know, opening on this side as well. Actually, a lot of bit of opening. I just thought it was at the bottom, but nope. Half the figure is off the card. I don't know if I'm going to try and glue that down or what, but for now it's fine. I'm thinking when my wife knocked these figures off the wall, she probably broke the bubble on it. But an awesome looking piece nonetheless. And as I said, I think Sid Vicious has the best figure from this line. And another solid likeness. I think he and Brian Pillman probably have the two best likenesses. Aron Anderson's really good. Butch Reed has a great likeness, but when I look at... But it's not really Butch Reed. When I look at Butch Reed, it kind of looks like Ron Simmons. But we'll see that when we get to him. Sid Vicious loose. Next up is Ric Flair. Now this son of a gun took me forever to get. They had this guy listed for like $50, and we all know I'm not spending $50 on a freaking bendable figure. Now, if I had a complete collection, loose and carded, and this was the last one I needed, maybe I would have been desperate enough to pick him up for that price, but no. He is definitely one of the most important figures from this lot. You definitely need to get Ric Flair, no doubt. But $50, no. I think I paid $35 on this one. Or did I pay more? Maybe it was Rick Steiner I was talking about that I paid $35 for. Maybe it was this one that I paid $35 on. And Rick Steiner, maybe I got him for $25. I don't remember. I don't remember the prices of every single one. I can only try to get you as close to the neighborhood as possible. You know what I didn't do? On Sid Vicious, I didn't read off his information. Sid Vicious, favorite holds Powerbomb. Okay, we already know that. Ric Flair, Nature Boy, favorite holds Flying Knee Drop, Figure 4 Leg Lock. Yep. And this is another like super big card as well. Ric Flair. Not in my top 5, but I mean, I think the pink and the white really kind of offset each other, so really nice. This one's a little bit dirty. And I bought 2 of these. I bought one off Mercari. Forgot I bought one off Mercari and bought another one off of eBay. And I'm not going to be able to sell either one. I mean, this one, it has a lot of dirt on it. And the other one, the legs, they're like super smushy. And I'm like, At least this one kind of looks like he could potentially stand up straight. From David Garland, I bought a lot of those LJN bendy stands. And that's what I utilize for my Justoys Bendoms, WWE Justoys Bendoms. And I have these also in those stands, but they don't stand up quite as well. So I'm going to try it one more time after this video to stand them up again appropriately. If they don't stand up correctly, I'm probably just going to take them out of there and, put them somewhere else. Because I'll probably use that rack for more Bendoms. Sid Vicious. After Sid Vicious is... Or excuse me, I said Sid Vicious. Ric Flair, Sid Vicious, Ric Flair, and now we've got Barry Windom. And this is the last carded figure I have for Justoys. So Barry Windom, it says favorite holds is the Bulldog and back body drop. So this is Barry Windom as a loose figure. Again, sticking with the silver and black, just like the WCW Galoob figures. Another really solid, good-looking figure. And you know what? Because I have enough of these guys, I don't do it, but I really should, have some fun with these guys. I could really have some fun wrestling matches. Put Sid and Barry together. And then probably tag team maybe Sting and maybe Scott Steiner or something. Or maybe put like Sting and Lex Luger together. But this is a really good look. And I actually like the fact that they kind of keep on with the long ponytail. So that is solid detail. I like that a lot. As we look at the back of the card here, The last two figures are Butch Reed and Ron Simmons. Well, I can already say, guys, I don't have Ron Simmons. I don't have him carded, and I don't have him loose. This one is a loose Butch Reed. But when you look at it, I kind of felt like this was Ron Simmons. But no, they had it listed as Butch Reed, so I'm going to call him Butch Reed. And I feel like this is a top 5 favorite among the WCW Justoys. You know, sticking with the same detail as his WCW Galoob figure. And I think most of these figures, with the exception of like a few of them, pretty much are based on the Galoob style, color scheme, and all that. Now, for whatever reason, this guy feels a little bit thicker, whatnot. You know, good face detail, I like that. You know, pants, shoes, solid. So, if this isn't, I think Sid Vicious will still be my number 1 regardless, but I think this would be a very close number 2 among my favorite Galoob, my Justoys Galoob figures. WCW Justoys figures. Why am I mixing up 2 brands? I don't know what this dirt is on his back, though. If that's like white paint or what. Alright, guys. So, I believe there were 12 characters. Yep. So, there were 12 characters, and I've got at least 11 of them. Either carded, or loose, or both. So, this was a good video. Just kind of show off another different toy line. In the last video, I think I talked about wanting to make a new My Favorite LJN tournament from Harvey. I want to say Harvey Stud. No. Harvey, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry I got your name wrong. But from him, I've been picking up a lot of customs off of Mercari. So, and I'm still in the process of picking up more figures from the Raider Nation off eBay as well. So, right now, I haven't counted my figures in a while, so I have no idea how many I have. If I had to estimate, I would say 250 figures altogether, maybe more. But for sake of argument, let's say 250 LJNs. If I did 5 matchups an episode, that's 10 figures. So that means that you're looking at about 25 videos just to complete round 1. And I want to hear your guys' opinion. If I do a My Favorite LJN tournament, should I eliminate figures that I know have absolutely no chance of moving forward? Now, I could look through okay, hey, Iron Sheik is gone. Roddy Piper is gone. Jimmy Snuka is gone. I don't know if I want to do that, though, you know? I want to introduce all the figures so that viewers who may not know certain figures exist can have the opportunity to see everything, right? So, that's what I'm thinking, but I don't know. What else? Look around. I don't know. Right now, the LJN tournament, the My Favorite LJN tournament, and the My Favorite Manager tournament, those are the two big videos, long-standing videos. They're going to have north of 10 videos based on that topic due in this year. It's up to you guys. Like I said, if you guys tell me you want to see it, I'll make the videos. But right now, I'm kind of putting a hold on that in the short term. And up next, I guess, will be the next Real Chat video. And a lot of topics have been coming up that I've been really wanting to talk about. So I really want to find ways to incorporate the video clips in these videos so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. But at the very least, I can, attach a link or something that you guys can click on and, see those stories elsewhere. But that's it for now, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And until next time, talk to you guys later. Goodbye, everybody.